I'm just wondering where the outrage is for federal employees who don't qualify for SNAP benefits and haven't gotten paid in over a month. Where's the outrage for us? Because how are we supposed to put food on the table for our families if we're not getting paid and we don't qualify for government assistance? Make it make sense.
I don't usually post videos like this, but I gotta say something. I just got done showing this rental to an air traffic controller, young guy, fresh out of school. Him and his wife just had a set of twins. Great family, excellent credit, doing everything right. But he hasn't been paid because of the stupid government shutdown. And he asked if I could work with him on the deposit because they don't know when his next paycheck is coming. And it's not just him. There are so many federal workers like this right now. A lot of these families are living paycheck to paycheck. That's just the reality of life in America. It's not fair that politicians who are still getting paid are holding Americans hostage over a stupid political fight. They gotta do better. America, we have to do better. So if you're listening to this, please do me a favor, reach out to your representatives, call them, email them, blow up their phones. This shutdown needs to end. They shouldn't be getting paid if America's finest aren't getting paid. My rant's done.
I'm a federal employee and I did not receive my paycheck yesterday. Thankfully, I am a part of the judiciary as a federal public defender, so I received paychecks through October 24th. Due to the government shutdown, I am unable to take leave. If I'm sick, I have to be furloughed for a period of time. And now I am in no pay status. And there's no guarantee that when the government reopens, I will get my funds next business day. Now they're saying that it'll take at least a week to generate my funds back. And this is all due to a system that is so inherently broken. Another system in America that is inherently broken and set up to support the rich and shame the poor, as is the same system that I work to fight against every day, the judicial system. As a federal public defender, it is my job to defend the poor, to defend the indigent, to defend those who can't defend themselves. And right now, I am tasked with that responsibility while I am not being paid. This government shutdown needs to end. I wholeheartedly support Democrats digging their heels in, but I also need the Republicans to get off their knees and get on their feet and actually stand for the American people and not the percentage of America, the very small percentage of America that are millionaires and at this point, billionaires. This is an insane circumstance and situation to be in, and I think that it is crazy that there are representatives of this country that are not even in session right now, and they're being paid to sit at home while I am not even paid to go and continue to work and fight a good fight because I believe in the federal defender mission. That is the only reason why I'm still in this position. And to add insult to injury, even if I were to get another job and go on furlough and get another job, I am told by the government that I am not allowed to get a job using my Howard Law degree, because I cannot work in a job that is related to I cannot practice law while also maintaining my position. So it's either I quit and lose my job as a federal employee, which was not hard to get, not easy to access, especially at my age and with my experience level, or I suffer in silence and just hope and pray that the government opens up. And I think that what people also underestimate is that public defenders are already one of the most underpaid and underappreciated professions to have in this society, when the majority of clients that come through any judicial system are going to be indigent. So we do the bulk of criminal defense work. And now with that strain on our back, with the strain of our clients, with the strain of knowing that most of our clients are indigent, can already barely afford food, can already barely afford cost of living, and then with this additional strain that we are now also feeling ourselves, how in the world do we still make this system run at all? I'm a federal employee who did not get my paycheck yesterday.
The shutdown may be coming to an end, but if you want a federal job, I wouldn't move so fast. You know, I took notes. Let's talk about it. Federal job seekers are being asked to prove their loyalty, not their skills, And now 3 major unions are suing to stop it. You want to know why? Because of the loyalty question. The Office of Personnel Management added new essay questions to most federal applications, including one that says, which Trump executive order or policy matters most to you, and how would you help implement it? Unions representing hundreds of thousands of federal workers call it a political loyalty test, a violation of the First Amendment that forces applicants to reveal or fake their political beliefs. And they say it's a part of a larger plan to replace nonpartisan civil servants with politically loyal workers. OPM denies it's political. Director Scott Cooper says the questions simply give applicants space to share their dedication to public service, not their ideology. But internal memos and training videos suggest otherwise. These essays have already appeared in over 5,800 federal job listings, from patent examiners to wildland firefighters. And with the government still in a shutdown, oversight of this process is minimal. As this lawsuit moves forward, the question is simple. Is this hiring reform, or is this simply political? For federal job seekers, the answer could decide who's allowed to serve their country next. I want to know, what do you guys think, of course. So let me know in the comments. Is this fair or is this foul?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, this is like the most uninspired, not motivated, lazy, bro, everything I done been so far, bro. This is garbage, bro. I got this government shutdown going on. I wasn't able to compete this year, even though air traffic controllers not working, not getting paid. It feel like the job got even more stressful with the traffic. I'm like, man, I don't know what it is. And I'm always the person that always say, like, discipline, consistency, gonna trump everything. Like, forget motivation. But like, bro, this is the most mentally tired I've been since I was going through it when I was in the Army. And like, I got people telling me, like, bro, like, keep doing what you're doing, bro, like, keep going. But it's like, man, like, I'm really I'm really mentally drained. Like, I'm not feeling creative, making posts, taking pictures, even I've been going to the gym, but meal prep, all that. I've been tripping, bro. And I got that type of personality where it's like, I'm like, I can get super dialed in or something, like super dialed in, and like have like an obsessive type of attitude. But then I can go to like, man, forget everything. And like, I need to like really lock in to like be a beast in everything. Like Jeff Logan said, like, you gotta be a beast in everything you do. So like, I don't know what my plan is gonna be, because I've been making a lot of plans and basically like not going through with it. But like, I gotta do something. So I guess this post or this video is like my like, it's gonna hold me accountable to be right, because this is not healthy, for real.
Remember, go back to my last video where I explained that federal employees who are essential, who go in every day, who have no income, not getting paid, to make sure that people get their Social Security, SSI, VA benefits. They don't even have gas money to get to work. And they can't file for unemployment because they're going in. Now, the furloughed people can file for unemployment, but it's little of nothing. In Louisiana, for example, unemployment benefits is $275 a week. That's barely groceries. That can't cover a light bill or mortgage for a lot of us. So be mindful when you say things like that, because even if you can apply for unemployment, that's a loan, because when we go back to work and if they decide to give us back pay, we have to pay that unemployment back. So basically what I'm saying, even if a credit union did offer you a paycheck protection loan, it's a loan. Unemployment is a loan, because when we go back, like I said, if we are told that we're going to get back pay, we're already behind on everything. Our insurance premiums are piling up on top of each other. They're going to double tax that back pay, and anything else we utilized to try to survive and thrive during this situation has to be paid back. And I think a lot of times the public is not aware of these things. The federal worker is suffering, but Nobody is shedding light on that. Nobody is not making enough noise for us. I've said this from the get-go that this whole shutdown situation is going to be a trickle-down effect. Now, since SNAP benefits are being paused or not distributed, now everybody wants to be in a panic. But when it was said that federal workers were not getting paid, no one seemed to care that much that we were not getting paid. Now, don't get me wrong. I do not want vulnerable population, families with kids, the elderly, the disabled to go hungry, because no one deserves to not have food on their table. But guess what? Federal employees have been dealing with this for 40 days, and we barely or even don't have food on our tables as well. The trickle-down effect is now impacting the TSA workers who ensure that the airports are safe, the FAA workers who are ensuring that the friendly skies are safe. Countless number of people are still providing service to the public and not getting paid. But now, since it's becoming a trickle-down effect, now people's eyes are wanting to be open.
It's officially the longest government shutdown that we've had, and it's definitely a slap in the face. I've done 19 years with the federal government, and reasons that are not my fault, I can't pay my bills. I have 2 kids, 1 special needs, and I am a single parent, and I very, very much rely on my paychecks. It's starting to drain my mental, and I understand and I know that everybody's going through this, well, all the federal employees, but it's not fair, it's not right. I put too much service and time in to be treated like this. All because some adults can't get together and come to an agreement. It's not fair. I'm starting to weigh my options, looking for a second job, and federal employees check in. How are y'all doing mentally? How are you guys coping? Because I need some tips.
How did we get here, you guys? Day 37 of this government shutdown, officially the longest in history. As a federal employee, I'm hoping for back pay, but it's not guaranteed. New furlough letters came out, and it struck the statement from there that said that back pay would be provided once an appropriation is done. So I can only imagine that that means the current administration is going to try and break yet another law and not pay us when an appropriation is done. I'm thankful that I get to go to work and work for free. At least that gives me the human connection and a little bit of direction during this whole shutdown. Stay strong. We'll make it through somehow together.
So my flight to JFK was canceled, not because of a maintenance issue, not because of weather, but because there are not enough air traffic controllers to handle the workload right now, because they're on a shutdown and not getting paid, and they've got to provide for their families. My flight's canceled, and I think it makes sense. We got to pay these workers. We've got to pay them now.
I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible because I could probably go on 10 minutes about this. Let me just tell you first, if you truly had empathy for air traffic controllers and people that's going through this situation, you probably wouldn't want to make a comment like this. As far as getting a part-time job, let me just tell you how hard it is to actually get into the agency. So it could take you from a couple months to years to get into the agency. It took me 9 months. It took some of my friends 4 years to get into the agency. So it can depend on anything. So when you get this job, you more than likely are not going to work in the place that you wished for. Meaning, if you're from Chicago, like me, and you want to work in a facility that's close to Chicago, you're going to get a list of a bunch of places, and more than likely, it's going to be places nowhere near where you want to. Well, it could be, but for my situation, the closest place to Chicago for me that was on my list was St. Louis. I didn't want to be there. So I got the opportunity to go to another place, which I truly love. I'm super happy that I'm here. I'm super fortunate to be here, but a lot of people aren't fortunate enough to meet in this situation. You have to pay out of pocket to move to these new cities. So a lot of people just got into this agency, moved to new cities out of pocket, had to, like me, I flew here, had an apartment shop, flew back, then came back, moved all my stuff here, had to buy a new car, all this stuff, you feel me? I had to do all that just to get into the agency and accept this because I understand the potential this job has. But the potential isn't what we start with. You probably Google what air traffic controllers make and think, oh, it's sweet. They making all this money. When you start in the air traffic control, when you start as an air traffic controller, you're broke. You're not there yet. But you will get there once you get your certifications and qualifications. And air traffic controllers don't work the same schedule every day. So you mentioned getting a part-time job. I'm just gonna go through like 5 days of my schedule. So my first day back to work, I might work at 12:15 p.m. Get off at 8:15. The next day I gotta work 11:15. Then you gotta be off at 7:15. Then the next day 6:45. Then the next 2 days I might be at work at 5:45 in the morning. So every day my schedule can change when I'm going to sleep. You know, my schedule is never constant, and that's just something you got to deal with if you want to be in this agency. So doing that, you need to understand that you need to be really alert when you're at work. So you need to be able to make sure, even though your schedule is changed, you still got to get your sleep. You still got to maintain, mental health. And when you go to work, you need to be just 100% on point when you talking to aircraft because that's your job. You can't, like some people have jobs where you can go to work. You don't necessarily got to be all the way mentally there. You can be sleepy and, I don't want to single somebody's job out, but you get what I'm saying. You can work a job and not necessarily be 100% there, if that makes sense. With air traffic control, you should be 100% there if you got people's lives in your hands, people's safety in your hands. So getting a part-time job, that's just not realistic unless you're working at some place that's just not very complex. But you also talked about people getting charges waived. Your credit card not getting waived, bro. Your insurance not getting waived. Your car note not getting waived. You feel me? Stuff like that. That's monthly. They need to get their money too. They're gonna get their money back. And it's just you making a comment like this it just negates the empathy that you said you had. And I know a lot of people feel this way. And my situation was not towards finances. My situation was totally based on my mental health of me mentally just working super hard when I'm at work. And when I'm getting off, I'm burnt out. And the government shutdown is causing a lot of people to take sick leave, a lot of people not coming in. It's a lot on me because I care about my job. I care about the safety. I care about getting better at my job. So I put a lot on myself mentally just to be successful and being a good person of service. Because at the end of the day, I'm a service-based job. Y'all don't see us, but we're a service. So I just wanted to put that there. The government shutdown has not caused me problems financially at the moment. Now, how long it takes, maybe it could. But it was just about the mental. But for all those people, those new people in the agency, all those people that's got families, new kids, you feel me? Just getting a loan or all that stuff that y'all think we can just do is just, I don't get it, man. But appreciate y'all for listening. If you here, go ahead and follow me. I'm almost at 1,000 followers, man. I can't believe it. Just after 3 months of posting consistently. But yeah, appreciate it.
Really quickly, the procedural vote has passed 60-40. That means the bill to reopen the government now goes back to the House. They need to vote. House Speaker Mike Johnson says that he can reconvene the House within 48 hours. So likely by midweek, the government shutdown should be over. A couple of things that you have to consider with this deal, at least as we know it right now, that it would require a vote on those ACA subsidies, again, that are set to expire at the end of the year. Into that, there would be sort of stopgap funding that would take us to January, and then we're back in the same cycle all over again. Progress is being made, but also consider the fact, too, that we're still going to have drama at the airports as a result of this shutdown until it is resolved.
It passed. It passed. 2.5 paychecks later, 20 shifts I've been working for free, and we finally might be reopening the government. Oh, hall of freaking Luya.
So the last 40 days have to spend for nothing. We just went 40 days without pay for nothing. Oh my God.
So
I've decided how I would like to assist, if I can, to anyone that's in need during this government shutdown. The best way that seemed possible for me was gift cards. So what I want to do is I have a total of 7 gift cards. 5 of them will have $100 per card, and 2 of them will have $250. I tried to split it up because I'd like to help more people, but and I'm not balling out of the gym or nothing like that. I just want to help. So if you can benefit from this, or it can help you, or you know someone that can use this, direct message me, because I don't want anybody to put their business all in the comments. I know some people could feel a certain type of way because asking for assistance or anything. So I don't want anybody to feel embarrassed or ashamed or anything. So hit my DMs and I will look at the message. Of course, I'm going to vet you the best way I can. And if it happens that you fit the criteria, I will send out the gift card to you to your location. It will be certified so you can sign for it so that I can know that you received it as well. Again, I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not doing this for followers. I'm not doing this to... I don't care about TikTok enough like that to monetize anything that I'm doing. I don't care about TikTok like that. I would just like to assist someone, because we're not living in the best of times right now. I understand people need help, and if I can, I would like to assist.
The TSA and the federal employees, they need a shout out. They really do need a shout out, because they've been working and not receiving pay. And more than likely, they did not qualify for SNAP. So even though some states have given partial payments to SNAP recipients to go and get some food, the TSA employees and the federal employees that did not qualify, they haven't received anything. So let's give them a shout out. I was told that the government may open back up tomorrow. Let's cross our fingers and hope so. Don't be talking about no $2,000 that Trump, that he ran that mess out of his mouth. Stop. Don't even talk about it. And who wants a 50-year mortgage? Who wants a goddamn 50-year mortgage?
Foodie Gang, I just want to say my heart goes out to all the federal workers and everything they've been through. I had no idea about federal workers. I never really thought about it, when you go to the airport, but hearing their side of the story, seeing them break down, be frustrated, be mentally exhausted, and some of them have served this country for years, and to know that they are treated this way and have been treated this way, it is just one of the most heartbreaking stories. And we've been talking about the SNAP, the food stamps, and the EBT a lot, but we had to pay attention to these workers. They are going to work and not getting paid and not receiving benefits. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Foodie gang, gang, gang. Foodie gang, gang, gang.